This episode is about a special guy who could have walked away from his American classic in the face of persistent adversity. But he stuck it out and has stood by his amazing Dodge for 25 years.
Is it me, or have successive generations lost respect for other people's property? Having a great car will always attract people, but unfortunately a minority of these people will not give a prestige car the respect it deserves. Just listen to what happened to Derek Carter and his beautiful 68 Charger.
I came over from the Chelsea cruise on September the 26th, 2010, and it was on the odd occasion that Liz didn't come with me. So I rang her when I was near enough home and said, look, do you want anything to eat? And she said, well, can you get me a chicken burger? I said, yeah, fine. So the one down the road here was closed, so I went to a different one, halfway between here and Croydon. Pulled up outside, everything was good. Went in, ordered my burger. Two young kids, 18, 20 years old. One of them rubbed his hand all the way along the back wing, along the door, the front wing. I just went out, I said, lads, I said, don't touch the car. I said, you might scratch it. And he held his hand out like that and said, I don't wear a ring. Bang, straight on the chin and knocked me flying. Yeah. So I thought, well, what the hell's happening here? So I've got up and I've gone back into the kebab shop. And I've said, you see what just happened? Nothing to do with me. Thanks very much, mate. So anyway, they come back and they tried to get into the kebab shop to get to me. So I put my foot against the door. I thought, no, you're not coming in, I'm not coming out. So he just looked at me, looked at the car and said, oh well. Run at the car, kicked the wing in, jumped on the bonnet, smashed the back door. I went out there, they ran off. They come back, breeze blocks in their hands. Smash onto the bonnet again, rip the mirror off. Other bits, the windscreen and everything else. So anyway, I went out there, I managed to get hold of one of them. I just give one punch, hit him on the nose and his nose exploded. And then they like sort of run off. I called the police wasn't that interested. That was that. The car went off to insurance, and it came back looking lovely.
And then a year later...
No, it wasn't even a year. That was September. The Good Friday, which I think was in the April, I went to Wheels Day because the car was looking beautiful. Came home, parked it up in the garage. On the Sunday night, a neighbour 2 doors down, 11 o'clock at night, banging on the front door. Your garage is on fire. What? He said, your garage is on fire. So I've run down the garden, in my boxer shorts, tried to open the garage door, I couldn't. As soon as I opened it, was flames everywhere. Another neighbour had already phoned the fire brigade, but then they come out with their garden hose, I got my garden hose, and we're trying to hose it down and everything else, and we couldn't. The car copped it, the garage copped it, all the contents of the garage, that all copped it as well. Never found out who it was. Got a good idea, but never found out who it was. The police forensics said someone had poured something over the top of the door. The insurance forensic people said no, an inflammable liquid had been put under the door and lit there because of the way the flames were and everything else. So then the car went back to the same place that had it sort of like, what, 6 months, 7 months before. It had to have either everything replaced or redone. So chrome work wise, the bumpers were chromed, the mirrors were re-chromed, the trim around the window was new, the mirrors were new, the 2 front seats, they had to be recovered, the headlining had to be done, the whole car had to be resprayed. New vinyl roof, new windscreen again, because the fire had affected the windscreen. It was a total mess.
Del is a positive person and he's not overly emotional, so to get a better idea of what he went through, I've talked to the people around him so you truly understand.
When he was attacked the first time, all of us were devastated about it, and thankfully he come through that. When we had the arson attack, he was all ready to call it quits then. He says, that's it, I'm done.
He was devastated. I think the first thing he said was, well, that's it, I've finished, and he did the classic thing of, right, I've got to sell it, just get rid of it, and it was a case of he was ready to pull the plug and just, that's it for his Dodge Charger.
Normally we'd leave the Chelsea Cruise together, and I'd follow him back as far as Mitcham. He'd turn off, I'd carry on up to Croydon. He went early, 10 minutes earlier than me. So I got through Balham, he phoned me up, told me what had happened. I had a 440 in a 70 Satellite. I didn't go through Tooting into Mitcham slowly. Unfortunately, there was armed police there in Mitcham at the time, and they ended up following me to where the dad was. They wasn't too impressed, but hey, it was actually here was the first show that he took it to after it got smashed up, which lasted 3 days, and then the garage was set alight. So yeah, that really put him on a downer. When the fire brigade turned up, all he wanted was to pull 2 screwdrivers out the door and back the car out. They wouldn't let him in the garage. So they just had to stand there and watch it burn.
Derek Carter is a gentleman, but his kindness and easygoing manner doesn't mean he is soft. He wasn't about to turn his back on a passion that was as much his makeup as his South London roots, as you'll see in a minute. Please click on the subscribe button, it's free to do so and helps us build up our audience. Also, please share this video with your friends on social media, and while you are there, please follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook to get new video alerts and extra content. And for a limited time, you can get up to 30% off Year 1 muscle car parts. They're our primary sponsors. Use the promo code TORQUE, T-O-R-Q-U-E. Just visit year1.com to take advantage of that.
Unsurprisingly, after going through so much strife, Del Carter considered walking away from his pastime.
I nearly sod it, I've had enough of American cars. I was down, to say the least.
And it took a lot of persuasion through family and friends, car people, to keep it together and carry on.
You know, he was a fighter, he wasn't going to let it beat him. Although he might have thought that to start with, he wasn't going to let it beat him.
But he was definitely on to getting rid of the car and just, you know, giving it a break for a while. I think he would have gone back to him anyway. It's in his blood.
I've got so many good friends. They rallied round. They had a collection for me to help pay for some of the stuff that the insurance company wouldn't pay for. And they said, look, don't let this get you down, you know, you'll get through it. And with the help of my wife, my son, my daughter, my grandchildren, and everything else, they were the main ones. I stayed with it and I'm still here now. But without my friends at the beginning saying, look, just stay with it. Without that, I could have quite easily let the car go to the insurance company, said to the paint place, you know, look, if there's a chance of writing it off, write it off. But because of friends, I didn't.
And he's restored it again. Obviously the insurance, I think, sort of paid out to get it restored. It wasn't written off. and he did it all, and it's even better than it was before.
Despite starting his journey into American classics back in 1976 with a Pontiac and owning Chevys and Fords along the way, Del gravitated towards Mopars.
You can have your big block Chevys, your big block Fords, but it just don't sound like a big block Mopar. And that is what got me into it.
When the Mopar Muscle Association, the MMA for short, was formed in 1997, Del became a prominent member, helping to organise meets, cruises and full-on shows. Also MMA appearances at other events like this one at the world-famous former Grand Prix circuit Brands Hatch. In 2018, the organisers of this Brands Hatch American Speedfest show wanted to celebrate 50 years of the second generation Charger with a couple of laps of the circuit, and Del and the MMA were only too happy to oblige. Stupidly, I decided to mount one of my GoPros on the wing of a replica Superbird. Vibrations of the motor caused the suction mount to fail, and the camera had to be retrieved by a marshal. Big thanks to whoever that was. I wasn't the only one having a bad day, as you can see. Some of the group put their foot down, but most, including Del, decided to cruise at the speed the organisers wanted. But fun was had by all, especially as this track is so well known, having hosted the British Grand Prix 13 times.
I didn't realise they were timing us. We had 6 minutes to do our parade laps. They didn't want us to go under 30 and they didn't want us to go over 40. And they calculated that we would get 2 laps in that. They were about right. But it was great. Speedfest done a poll online. The most wanted thing that people wanted to see was the second generation Chargers on the parade lap.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
That come from Brands Hatch people themselves.
Del definitely knows how to put on a show. Here's a clip from the Mopar Euro Nationals at Santapod back in 2004.
Oh, look at this.
Be my guest.
Who is that?
No idea, I've not seen that car before.
Right, just lean back.
Amazing,
Do we get a shot of this lovely Mustang?
He's probably thinking the same. The lovely Charger.
Mustangs are everywhere. Back in episode 6, when I was filming with Tessa Hood in a convertible 67 GT, we came upon another convertible Mustang, and the same has happened with Del. He may organise shows named Chryslers at Brooklands, but there is clearly respect for other car groups from Del and the MMA.
You have a little dig. I've got some very good friends who got Mustangs, and like when they turn up at Brooklands on Sunday, I say, they say, where do you want us to park? I say, well, the Skip's over there. But it's all laughing and joking. It doesn't matter what car you've got, you're all part of the big scene. And this country's too small to have rivalry between Mopar and Corvettes and Mustangs. We've all got our own clubs, we've all got our own interests, but we're all there for each other. I organise a run to Brighton, and if a Mustang or a Chevy breaks down, everyone stops to help. We don't just drive by and say, no, you're not Mopar. Stop and help. What else can you do?
Derek Carter, a great guy that owns a great car.
His story shows us all sometimes life will deal us a tough hand, but don't roll over. Don't let jealous idiots ruin what you choose to do. Please, please, please click on the subscribe button. It's free to do so and helps us build up our audience.
Also, please share this video with your friends on social media, and while you are there, please follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook to get new video alerts and extra content. And remember, check out talkamerican.com, and if you'd like, please post a comment underneath this video. We'd really appreciate it. Okay, let's talk again soon, but for now it's bye-bye, bye-bye.